The mirror of the sun goddess. Many, many years ago, when the gods reigned in high heaven, the country of Nippon rose from the waters. Izanagi and Izanami, standing upon the floating bridge of heaven, threshed down a glittering blade. They probed the blue ocean, and the drops from the sword's point hardened and became islands, and thus was created the land of many blades, the Isles of Nippon. Now, Izanagi and Izanami were the highest of the gods of heaven, and they had 2 children, Amaterasu and Susanoo. Susanoo was made god of the sea, and his sister was the bright and beautiful sun goddess, whose name meant Great Goddess of the Shining Heaven. She reigned happily from her bright golden throne for many years, but Susanoo, like many other brothers, was a tease, and he made his sister very angry with some of his tricks. She was quite patient with him, as elder sisters should be, but at last there came a time when she could no longer stand his naughty ways. Amaterasu sent Susanoo one day upon an errand, for she wished him to find a goddess named Ukemochi, who lived in the reedy moors. When Susanoo found her, he was tired and hungry, and so he asked her for food. Ukemochi took food from her mouth to give him, and this made him very angry. "Why feed me with foul things? You shall not live," he cried, and drawing his sword he struck her dead. When he went home and told Amaterasu what he had done, his sister was in a great rage and left her brother in total darkness. She fled to the cave of Amino and closed the entrance with a huge rock. Then was all the earth dark, for the sun goddess no longer shed her light upon men. So terrible was it upon earth that at last the other gods met together near the cave to consult and see what could be done. They tried in every way to persuade Amaterasu to come forth, but she sulked like a naughty child and would not shine upon them. At last they thought of a plan to entice the goddess from her cavern by means of an image of herself. So a mirror was made, very large and fine. It was hung upon a tree just before the door of the cave, and a strong hempen cord was put in the hands of a god who hid himself beside the door. A number of cocks were started to crowing, and the lovely goddess Uzume began to dance to music from a bamboo tube. The gods kept time by striking 2 pieces of wood together, and one of them played a harp made by placing 6 of their bows together with the strings upward and drawing grass and rushes across them. Great bonfires were lighted, and a huge drum was brought for Uzume to dance upon. This she did with so much spirit and grace that all the gods were delighted. They laughed with joy, clapped their hands, and fairly shook high heaven with their merriment. Amaterasu heard the noise and could not understand it. She was annoyed because the gods seemed to be having such a good time without her. She had thought that they could not possibly get along unless she let the light of her face shine upon them. She was naturally very curious to find out what it was all about. So she pushed open the door of her cave just a little bit and peeped out. There, by the light of the bonfires, she saw Uzume's graceful dancing and heard her sing, "Ito futa mio itsumu nana yakoko no tari," which means, "Gods, behold the carven door. Majesty appears. Rejoice, our hearts are fully satisfied." "Why does Uzume dance, and why do the gods laugh? I thought both heaven and earth would be sad without me," said Amaterasu crossly. "Oh no," laughed Uzume. "We rejoice because we have here a deity who far surpasses you in beauty." "Where?" demanded the sun goddess indignantly. "Let me see her." And as she spoke, she caught sight of her own reflection in the mirror. She had never seen such a thing before and was greatly astonished. She stepped outside her cave to see more plainly this radiant rival when, lo, the god who was waiting seized her and drew her forth, quickly passing the rope across the cave door to prevent her return. Thus was the sun goddess restored to earth.